Top 100 Scary SCPs.
Item number SCP-3512. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Persons affected by SCP-3512 are to be accommodated in standard humanoid containment cells. Missing persons information and analytics are to be distributed as necessary. Media reports are to be monitored for evidence of SCP-3512 cases with potential outbreaks investigated. The entrance to the cavern system beneath the Grotto Familia is to be secured and surveillance established. Mobile Task Force Cita 9 Mole Rats is to continue exploration of the system, remaining alert for the presence of SCP-3512-1 or any other anomalous phenomena. Mobile Task Force Alpha 4 Pony Express is to conduct a search and monitoring operation to identify potential instances of SCP-3512-2 in the pre-publishing or distribution stages. Description: SCP-3512 is a phenomenon which leads to significant changes in the personality and psychological stability of certain women between the ages of 18 and 40. To date, 9 such women have been identified and contained by the Foundation, and a further suspected instance was found deceased in her home. Women affected by SCP-3512 score extremely highly on neo-PIR measures for openness, extroversion and agreeableness. This is the case regardless of previous personality indicators, and affected women do not appear to be aware of such changes. The behaviour of affected women is characterised by high sociability and lack of inhibition, punctuated by prolonged bouts of uncontrollable screaming. The incidence and duration of screaming has been observed to decline over a 4-5 month period. Other personality changes appear to be permanent. Potential occurrences of SCP-3512 in several countries are being reviewed. All confirmed cases of SCP-3512 linked to an initial outbreak in Barcelona, Spain, which was investigated by Foundation agents Ray Cooper and Thomas Ray. Agent Cooper's notes are included below to provide further description of the anomaly and surrounding circumstances. Investigation Notes. Agent Cooper Investigation Notes. SCP-3512 15 July 2016. Landed 16:15. Hot here, hotter than Boston was, and no breeze to speak of. Agent Ray met me at the hotel, offered to show me the city skyline. I said no, thought we'd get going, but he was in no hurry. Cultural thing, maybe. Shame if I was rude, but I could do with the sleep. 16 July 2016. Still hot. Ray finally showed at 10:15. Still, my director says he gets results and he's pretty much the only Foundation here. Headed to meet the victims, got coffee first. Have to admit, Ray does well with the locals. Our cover is a mental health survey for The Who, and he plays a convincing doctor. Interviews productive C-tapes. Observations. Families aren't involved. They are too genuine shocked. Ray had to work to calm and persuade them. Victims are no help symptoms as per initial report. They have no awareness of how changed they are, how plastic and unreal. I think that scares the families more than. This doesn't feel like a basic cog of something about their eyes. The change isn't superficial. They are so sincere in their delusion. So up for it. 17 July 2016. More interviews, not much new. The same smiles from the girls, the same crying families. We tested domestics, nothing. If it's mimetic, it goes deeper than memory. One possibility. A younger sister mentioned something I recognised from yesterday's tapes. A pagoda. I thought cancelled, but Ray tells me the Catalan is more like blackout. We ask some of the victims, and the screaming starts immediately. A mother shakes her head at the nightclub her Taya always talked about going. The mother knew it was trouble. Later, I ask Ray. He knows it. It's open tomorrow night. 18 July 2016. Ray comes to get me at 2100, laughs at what I'm wearing. Not like I planned on clubbing. He tells me his sister may have something I can use. I'm worried we'll be late, but apparently nothing opens before midnight. His sister, I. Of course the club is dark. Loud pop guarded. I feel like I stand out. Ray tells me not to worry. He's good moving around the room, talking to people, fitting in. Better for me to wait on my own, see who approaches. Plenty do, but no one interested. Until around 2:00. Long guy tall slides in next to me at the bar and offers to buy me a drink. He asks me my favourite star, and I think it's the start of a bad pick-up line, then realise he's serious. Something about him confident, charming, but too much eye contact. Speech too precise. Not drunk enough. My eyes flick over to see where Ray is, and the guy spots it. Suddenly he's leaving, pushing through the crowds. By the time I get outside, he's gone, but I get lucky. 20 euros, and the doorman tells me he's a regular. Another 20 gets me a name Joseph Boreal. 19 July 2016. Oriol is now officially a boy. Ray used the contact, turned up an address. Oriol wasn't home, looks like he didn't come home, but the flat is full of incriminating. A book sitting on the kitchen table, free of clutter, used regularly. Looks like a publisher's proof plain cover, simple type. Didn't open it with that coca screening, but it just had that feeling. And next to the book, some kind of fucked up sculpture lying on a dishcloth, like a blob of candle wax, carved into points, and with, well, it looked like legs stuck into it. Pieces of Lego and Meccano, roast stems, a crab claw, a corkscrew. What I think was a skeleton key. Ray called me into the bedroom, and there were boxes full of the same kind of stuff. Bodkins, quills, dolls, limbs, wire. Syringers. I pulled him into the kitchen to show him the sculpture, and it was gone. 1, 20, 30. Back at the hotel. I've been reading the book started by using the filters, but there's no caucus here. Just really weird shit. This whole thing feels off to 23:45. Command just came back with information on the architectural plans. The majority match up with municipal records, but not all. A schematic O. Investigation notes. SCP-3512-1 information and recovered materials. SCP-3512-1 is the collective designation for category of objects or entities described in Chapter 1218 of SCP-3512-2. Each instance consists of a central mass composed of carved adipose tissue with 12 loosely attached appendages or limbs used for locomotion and other actions. The text describes SCP-3512-1 instances with a central mass approximately 5 cm in diameter and using simple household objects for the appendages. No active instances have been contained, although sites of investigation have yielded evidence of discarded SCP-3512-1 limbs. Of the SCP-3512-1 instances observed by Foundation personnel, the largest had a total diameter of approximately 5 meters, with each of its appendages composed of a human spine tipped with a maculate gastropod foot. The limbs were regularly distributed around the central mass, attached by a loose conglomeration of animal ligaments and metal chains. 7D. Investigation notes. SCP-3512-2 excerpts. Items recovered from the apartment of Pi 3512-5 Joseph Oriol include an advanced review copy of a book entitled The More You Know, a pickup artist's Bible classified as SCP-3512-2. The author is referred to by the pseudonym Enigma. No publication information is included in the copy. The book is non-fiction, consisting of 625 pages and containing a foreword attributed to hip-hop artist Snoop Dogg. Each of the first 11 chapters is based in the seduction community, providing anecdotes, advice and techniques for men to influence social groups and attract and seduce women. The remaining 12 chapters, each labelled Chapter 12, diverge from the main text on a range of esoteric subjects including advanced geometric proofs, the interpretation of dreams, do-it-yourself surgical techniques, symbolism in architecture and anomalous rituals. The book's afterword is composed of more than 15,000 anagrams of the book's title, laid out I. Chapter 1, The More You Know. If you're reading this book, you're probably a bit of a loser. Don't make that face. You know it, and I know it. The whole reason you're reading this is to stop being a loser, to get more confident in social situations, to feel comfortable talking to women, to understand the complexities of modern dating. Oh yeah, and let's not get ourselves to get laid like a lot. My name is Enigma, and I am going to show you how to do all this and more with my surefire methods to seduce women. Hot women hotter than you dare dream possible. Trust me, I used to be just like you. Now I drive a Lambo, wear a hoblot, and can bang any chick I want. Cocky? Sure. But you know you want to be a star like me. And with my blend of social psychology, neurolinguistic programming, and good old-fashioned balls, you can be any kind of star you want. Because the more you know, the more you score. Chapter 12:12. You know theorem. Which brings us to the small stellated dodecahedron, a non-convex regular polyhedron composed of 12 pentagrammic faces, with each of the 12 vertices forming the meeting point of 5 pentagrams. Its Schlafly symbol is 5/25, a fact I have dropped into many a flirtatious conversation to great effect. The small stellated dodecahedron has long been known in artistic circles as a potent aphrodisiac and as a cure for impotence. The works of MC. Escher, who knew how to pull in Palo Oxello, whose name literally means bird, are obvious examples. 3. Oxello's father was a barber surgeon, a common profession in the 14th century. They did everything from a quick shave to amputating limbs. The more you know. So put yourself back in that imaginary bar, but this time with a small stellated dodecahedron in your pocket. Chapter 12:14. Where to, you monk? The Italians don't have the monopoly on shapely figures. There are many T. Chapter 12:14. Where to, you monk? The Italians don't have the monopoly on shapely figures. There are many tricks and tips that you can learn from Spain, home of Don Juan and Torquemada. First, let's talk about Gaudí. Antoni Gaudí lived like a monk so that you don't have to. Ascetic and sociable and celibate, he channeled his energies into architecture of the most profound and powerful nature. Gaudí was the opposite of everything I told you to be. By the end of his life, he was dishevelled, skinny and never spoke to women. Gaudí was beaten in a mob, imprisoned, and eventually struck by a tram and killed. Far from being recognised, he was mistaken for a beggar. So why would I even bring him up? Because Gaudí understood that everything has a purpose and that organic and anarchic forms can be used to capture beauty and fix it in place forever. This is something we'll explore further over the next chapters. God is Basilic. Chapter 12:18. We took our hymen. Note, this chapter appears to refer to the construction and use of SCP-3512-1 instances. Make a rough ball of the materials you've harvested and place it in the freezer for 6-12 hours. Pork fat can be used, but will have less satisfactory results. Who knew, right? While you wait, you can prepare the limbs. Concentrate on articulation rather than strength. You may want to add simple tools to some limbs if the object of your desire is more careful than most, but remember that the more complicated you make them, the more precise your sculpting will need to be. Lay your prepared limbs out on a clean, flat surface. Once your adipose preparation has had time to freeze, carefully carve it into the shape you learned in Chapter 12. You will know it is ready when you see it start smiling at you. Now introduce the limbs they should take almost immediately. Wait until your intended is likely to be sleeping, then concentrate your thoughts. Chapter 12:19. York to Mahani. Double check that your scissors are comfortably within reach, with a blade sitting over the flame of your stove or under the oven grill if you don't have gas. If you have parents or siblings with you, now is a good time to check that their bindings are tight. Don't be tempted to start with them first. This way is more difficult, but if seduction was easy, everyone would do it. Now, with your right hand, get a firm grip on your left little finger. Take a deep breath. Then pull down sharply towards the side of your left hand. Your little finger should make a clean snapping sound. If not, take another deep breath and try again. Next, take the scissors. Chapter 12:23. Noteworthy Romeo. If you wish to know, you must look deeper. As below, so below. 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 As below. Wow, what a ride. If you're still here, comment blasphemy below. Thanks for sticking around. Make sure you're subscribed. Ring the bell. Stay tuned. Bye.